Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Just go ahead and follow the prompter, hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell, and come join this family known as a Stock Up, okay? And I want to go right into it. I'm gonna make this video short, right? First, come join us in Money Moves. Money Moves is where you can get all of my up-to-date moves with stocks and crypto, right? All right, so we're going to go right into what's going on as it pertains to right now. So we got stock market today, Dow, S&P, NASDAQ slump with key inflation report on deck. What is that key inflation report? We got CPI coming and then we got PPI coming. I'm going to spare you from playing the video as it talks about CPI and PPI and what's expected from a CPI, all right? CPI will be first, and it's going to talk about an inflation. And, you know, the Fed, if inflation is ramping back up, then the Fed will be slower to lower interest rates. And that's what we don't want. After this feud with the president, we do want the Fed to reduce interest rates, for he is behind, if you ask me. All right. So, stock market today slump. Trump extends China deadlines, says no gold tariff. Right. That's kind of good. You know, keep that's back to the taco trade. Okay. You guys know, if you don't know what the taco trade is, just Google it. I don't want to say it, but you can pretty much bet on it and make money on it. All right. Listen, this is one of the things I wanted to talk about, which is why C3 AI stock is cratering today. It ain't catering, it's cratering. It's crashing. All right. No revenue, good people. And you know what? Let me play just a minute of this.
C3 AI. Cover your eyes on this one, as this formerly AI high flyer stock is crashing today, and it's warranted. C3 AI issued terrible guidance late Friday as it aimed to reorganize its sales force. For your notebook, you never want to see a company issue bad guidance after the market close on a Friday. The company is also reeling as spiritual leader and CEO Tom Siebel continues to deal with health issues, which has prompted him to search for a successor. D.A. Davidson analyst Lucky Schreiner called the earnings.
So it was a bad earnings, horrible, and then the forward guidance was bad on C3 AI. You and I were in C3 AI, and the reason why I'm making this video today with a pounding headache is that these AI companies, all right, a lot of them are even, listen, let's just keep it real. A lot of the BBAIs and a lot of the plays that we are in and have made a lot of money in on these plays, should I say, they don't have any revenue yet. You're paying for future revenue, and you have to be careful not to overstay your welcome. All right, good people, this is what I want to really tell you. You have to take profits and take profits often. If not, you have to only buy these stock when they're beat down. And I know someone is asking right now, Larry, should I buy it now? I don't know. You could have bought it today actually and made a little money because it was down by 30%. Now it's down by 25%. As we take a look here now, and look, in the aftermarkets and the after hours, it's up 1.5%. All right. So you could see that it literally came down. If you go from here, it literally came down 31%, and you have a percentage and a half up now, because I'm not going to put a chart on it. It could be simply oversold, but it's a risky play, good people. Extremely risky play. All right. We don't want that. All right. So let's look at what we're going to look at for tomorrow.
Does not seem to be the consensus view. In terms of the catalyst this week, the most important of them, Jen, is probably going to be that CPI report.
Yeah, Julie, we're closely watching CPI, specifically core CPI, which strips out those volatile food and energy prices. And economists are expecting that to tick up to 3% for the month of July. That would be up from 2.9 from the month before that in June. And I'm watching to see whether we see goods inflation sort of pushing up that number again. Remember, Fed officials are closely watching for the impact of tariffs on inflation. And Fed Chair Jay Powell specifically has said he wants to see the summer months, June, July, and August. So we saw a little bit of an uptick in June. Here we are coming to July. We're expecting to see further uptick there. What's interesting to me, though, is that CPI tends to run a little bit hotter than PCE, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, which is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. And Fed officials now see inflation topping out at 3.1% for the year based on PCE. So it seemed, and then coming back down for 2026. So it seems like they are coming around to the idea that we're going to see a one-time increase in inflation as a result of tariffs, though many still in that sort of wait and see posture to see if it will be more persistent. And we're going to hear from some Fed speakers, specifically some hawks this week. And I'm curious to see how they interpret the new inflation data that we will get tomorrow, along with the jobs data, that weaker jobs data that we got a couple weeks ago.
And
So, guys, tomorrow morning, an hour before opening bell, we will get CPI Consumer Price Index, and we will see is it hot. It's expected to be hot. I guess analysts are expecting tariffs to make it hot, but just like she said, PCE may be cooler. Sometimes CPI is hotter, but PCE is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. So we got to keep our fingers crossed and our ears open on what those numbers will be tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow talking about that, okay? So I just wanted to say, when you are in a lot of these plays, you got to understand that every play is not a whole. Now, I buy some of these AI stock, especially the ones like Sound, which was up today. I didn't see the close, but SoundHound was up. And so you got one tanking while one is going up. But you got to understand that these are not whole forever. Some of these are trades. You put a trailing stop loss on it. We used to be in C3 AI, but we got out, right? We took our money and we ran. Don't overstay your welcome. Now, Larry, you still holding some AI? Yes, I am. Because I buy them on extreme red days when they're beat down by, 12 to 15%, right? I buy on days like this, though I didn't buy this one. That's when I buy. And so, listen, when you buy something beat down, then you have less risk than someone that's buying at the top. Let's look at crypto right quick. Bitcoin news today. Bitcoin trades in key range. Listen, Bitcoin went up. Let's just go right to the chart. Bitcoin this weekend went to 121, like 121.8 when I saw it. No, it actually went to 122. I'm sorry. Bitcoin went to 122 this weekend. And it just shows that it's not over. Even though it's cooling off now, Bitcoin and Ethereum was pumping. Still look at the 7-day. Bitcoin up almost 3%. Ethereum up 13%. I'll take that any day of the week. All right. I don't know about you, but my portfolio was looking really, really good. I believe it's going to happen again. We're going to have a pump again. All right. So let's just look at this. All right. This is nothing really deep, but I just was noticing this. Remember, when I was talking about how the market usually, historically, okay, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. This is historical data that August is usually trending down a little bit. Though remember, on the first day of August, we had a flush, right? And then August is not good, it's choppy. And leading into September is choppy. But there are cases where we beat it out, all right? So look, this is the S&P a year ago, right? So let's look at this. You see what happened here in August. It went up. Now, that doesn't look like a lot, but it is a lot. So we went up and then it came right back down. Well, that little fall is 4%, right? Look at that. That's 4%. 4% is a lot for the S&P of a drawdown. And then what happened? All right, let's look at this date. This is September 6th. Remember this. This is September 6th. It went all the way to the end of the year. This is the S&P. Look at that. let's just say December 16th, okay? Look at that. Let's go towards the end of the year. Look at that, up 11%. This was the S&P. I believe that we're going to follow suit in something similar to that. So then I went to crypto, right? I went to crypto. Let's just start on the 1 year, right? I just went to Bitcoin and kind of the same thing. You can see that September 8th. Remember, on the S&P was September 6th. What happened? We went to December, boom, look at that, up 90%. Yeah, Larry, this cycle, you got to go back 4 years. I hear you. You got to go back 4 years. So I just did the same thing. There's no deep charts. So we went back here to August. Look at this. So from August, if we went back from August till, let's just backtrack. We're in February, January. Look at that, December 26th. So look at this. Again, after election year, after the halving, Bitcoin ran up over 130%, right? Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I believe it will actually happen. I know it sounds crazy, but this is what I'm expecting to happen. You got to make a plan, good people. And that's what my plan is. My plan is to buy any dip, any deep dip that's going to happen. The first might have been the deep dip, and I did buy. But my plan is to continue to buy any dips and just hold, right? I'm still going to do a deep dive on crypto because I have to give my answer to what Stocks with Josh said. And I know you guys are really waiting on it. But to be honest with you guys, today I had a blaring headache and still have. So I wasn't that active today because of my blaring headache, and I didn't want to make a lot of mistakes when you have a headache, okay? So, but I'll be back fine. These allergies are just really, really, really bad. If you got allergies, you know what I'm talking about. Let me know what you think about this year with stocks and crypto. Will the end of the year end up higher or lower? But I will tell you, keep your eye on CPI tomorrow, an hour before the market opens. But I do believe that we're going to have more chop, and I believe there'll be more troubled waters this month, leading into the first 2 week-ish of September, especially the first week. And then I believe we'll be on an uptrend. What about you? All right, good people. Hey, make sure you join us here in Money Moves, all right? Listen, we will always tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. We're not here to just talk about stuff that you want to hear just to make a video. You don't see me, with the thumbnails, and I'm losing, I don't gain as many views or followers as some of the clickbaity stuff. Every now and then I do get creative. Now, that's a difference. I have to get creative or you guys wouldn't listen to me, but with the titles. But I just don't try to do a lot of the clickbaity stuff because there's enough information here for you to make legitimate money without putting all of the hype on top. All right, good people? All right, pray for your boy's headache, all right? But I will be back tomorrow. Live, love, laugh, and learn. And I did pray for you guys last night. Peace.